There's the commitment line. You see that light, flashing light there where you got to commit left side tires to be able to come on to pit road.
You have to have your car inside of that white line there, and you commit to pit road. And if you cross that, then you have to come to pit road.
69 points separating the top two in the chase, and 6 feet on the racetrack. Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Burton as they come down to the green flag at Martinsville, Virginia.
Here today, and generally when that happens, especially on this concrete surface, these radial tires don't like to hook up to that. So these first few laps are going to be pretty exciting for these guys, as these cars are going to slip around quite a bit.
Jeff Gordon caught up on the outside. He was the best car in happy hour final practice on Saturday.
He's been the best car here in a lot of happy hours and a lot of 500 lap races for quite a few years now.
Earnhardt Jr. behind him in the 88. There's the 11 car of Hamlin that won here back in March.
Saw Clint Boyer slip just a little bit off the corner. That's all Jeff Gordon needed to get clear of the 07. That outside lane can work fairly good in the very beginning laps when the tires are cold, but once they start kind of getting heated up, you need to get back down to the curb.
Yeah, you can make some time on the start of the race or on restarts on that outside, but you don't want to be up there very long before you need to get back to the bottom. That's where the real grip is.
Saw Tony Stewart slip up just a little bit there in turns 1 and 2, and Earnhardt Jr. had to give him a little more room. That cost him some space. Kyle Busch in behind the 20 car of Stewart. Here's the 6 car we mentioned. David Reagan had to go to a backup car, and even when they got the backup car out yesterday, they were really good in that final practice.
It's going to be very important for David to try to pass as many cars as he can before these leaders start coming around, because they come around quick on this half-mile racetrack, and the more cars he can put between him and the leader, the better off he'll be.
Yeah, the leader's already within a half a lap of the last car, so you're exactly right. The more cars he can put in between, the better his chances. And right now he's got a car that's being able to make some time and pass cars.
Battle for 11th position. Denny Hamlin will take that spot. Kurt Busch looking to try to move on the inside of Earnhardt Jr. for 12th. More on Denny Hamlin. Dave.
Yeah, man, as the spring winner, glad to be back on that low line again. I asked crew chief Mike Ford if they even worked on the high line here. He said no way. He said Denny's game is to beat you getting off the corner, to drag race you down and put that nose in the low line going into the corner. The high line we really don't even consider.
Staying on the bottom of the racetrack, pretty important here, and that's what right now the battle is among Roush Fenway teammates for 3rd position, Edwards and Biffle.
Yeah, this hasn't been either one of those guys' best racetrack by any stretch of the imagination. They both really struggled here, but a lot of people have told me that Carl Edwards' car was really good in practice yesterday.
The one problem I see with this 99 car is how hard it's hitting the splitter getting in the corner, and I think that's hurting him a lot. See Jeff Gordon really working the bumper hard on this 99. Mike?
Well, Andy, DJ just made a good point about Carl Edwards. He said this has not been necessarily his best track. In fact, Carl said earlier this weekend, the first time he was here, he was completely intimidated by this racetrack. But he does credit a little conversation he had with a veteran who had been good here. The late Bobby Hamilton had helped him, giving him advice on how not to overdrive the corners. Carl said that went a long way in improving the way he attacks this racetrack. He said since that conversation, he's been much better. He's extremely optimistic coming into this afternoon.
Bobby Hamilton Sr. really had this racetrack down pat, and he was real easy on equipment. He was one of the easiest guys that I ever had driving for me on equipment here at Martinsville.
Edwards lost that spot a moment ago to Jeff Gordon. There's the top 2, Jimmy Johnson, by about 7 car lengths over Jeff Burton.
Look how close he is to the back of this field.
Yeah.
See the back of the field going into turn 1. There's Jimmy coming off turn 4.
So we said a while ago it was a half a lap. Now he's on just a quarter of a lap behind these guys. See a guy that's really making a move here so far, and it's not surprising. Andy, I know he's your pick to win this race, and that's the only reason I didn't get him, because you picked him first, I think. But Jeff Gordon is just, he's outstanding here, and he views this with his race team as their best opportunity to get to victory lane.
Jeff Gordon, a 7-time winner here, has not won a race in 36 starts, going back to Charlotte in October of 2007. Jamie.
And Doc, he and his crew chief Steve Letarte both thinking about that. They feel that this is one of the best chances they have all year to win. I asked Steve why Jeff is so good here. He said, well, with this new car, it's interesting. This racetrack and the road courses are the only tracks we go back to where they use the same tire. He said Jeff loves these tires. They just can't figure it out other tracks when they go back there with a new tire. Kind of interesting, DJ. What do you think?
Yeah, it's when you get a place that you really enjoy racing at, and you know that you're going to have a setup, that makes all the difference in the world, and you get that confidence. So these guys are going to be good. I think Jeff Gordon not only wants to win here today, he wants to try to dominate this race.
See some of these cars just really hitting the splitter hard. This 96 car is killing the front splitter. He's going down in the corner, and that thing is just sitting right on that front splitter, which is made of a different material there. You can see that black coming out of it. It's a composite material. That's really hurting Kenny right now. I saw that out of Carl Edwards' car, the 99, but this 96 car has just been really killing it.
Side by side, Tony Stewart in the 20 car, the 07. That's for 7th spot.
Yeah, that's how you kind of slide up and move a guy, get him out of the groove a little bit so you can make that pass easier. You get to running side by side here, slows both cars down quite a bit. Tony didn't take that chance, so we see splitter drag in there too.
You see all that dark looking smoke? That's what that is. That composite material is wearing away. You see it big time on Tony's car too. You expect that on low air pressures, but now we've run 17 laps. You would think they would have air pressures high enough that they shouldn't be doing that.
Double zeros had contact with the wall. That is Mike Bliss making a rare appearance in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. He is the 4th place points man in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Be back in action next week at Memphis. 2nd spot, Jeff Gordon. Didn't take him long to run down Jeff Burton. Now he's going to be on the move to try to reel in his teammate Jimmy Johnson. Jeff Gordon is a 7-time winner here. Jimmy Johnson has won 4 times, including 3 of the last 4 trips to Martinsville.